Okay, today I'm going to show you something I purchased on Facebook Marketplace for 150 bucks. Let me show you the top part of it and see if you can guess what it is. Okay, now I'll show you the rest. So keep in mind the back of the truck is a mess because I'm always going to get stuff like this. There it is. Can you guess what it is yet? Let me set it up and then see if you can guess. Here is the front of it. Have you guessed what it is yet? Let me get it out of this truck. Oh, this will be fun. Okay, I got it out and set it down. It took me less than a minute. You can see the timestamp at the bottom of the video. Have you guessed what it is yet? Here's some coils in the top. So here it is with the top piece on. That's where the chimney would go. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you what it is now. It is a water heater. And I'll be using it in my museum house when I get one. So the GoFundMe is up to $7,002. This is spring loaded. Look at that. That's what holds the water in there. If that had to be replaced, well, you know Home Depot sells copper tubing like that. Here's one of the gas burner. Look at that thing. These are all spring-loaded doors, so they stay shut. And there's like where it gets air. Anyway, you bet you I'm gonna use this. That's the latest date, November 15, 1910. I wonder if this has a safety valve. It looks like that's a safety valve, I think. Yeah, that appears to be one. You don't want the safety valve getting stuck. So here's the size compared to me. Okay, today I'm going to be testing this water heater that I got yesterday for 150 bucks. I'll have to go to the local hardware store to get some stuff. I'm going to be running it on a propane tank, the gas part, and then for water I'm going to figure out how to connect the water hose. Now if there are leaks in here, this is a copper hose, probably 3/4 outside diameter. Home Depot sells that in the refrigerator section, so I can replace one section, and good old solder usually will remedy leaky situations. Okay, well let's go to the hardware store. Oh, and people wanted to see me pick this up for some reason. This thing is heavy, but I guess I'll pick it up and get it out of there. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna go to the hardware store and get a fitting for this and some couplers to get this down to the size where it'll accept a propane tank for the gas. Here's the water outlet. This is the water inlet. So the water goes in there. You open, here, let me turn. You open these to regulate the pressure going into the coils, and then that's where the water comes out, the hot water comes out. This would usually go to a holding tank. That's why you see in some old kitchens, usually there's a tank next to the stove or somewhere. That tank usually would come out of these water heaters and go to a holding tank. Sometimes in old houses, you will find tanks in the attic and stuff that are like galvanized tanks. That's what they were usually used for. So this looks to be 1 1/4 inch pipe. Let's see. I've got a tape measure. 1 1/4 or 1. It might be 1. Okay, I had to use both hands. These are 1 inch. This is 1 1/4, just like I thought. Okay, so I just got back from the hardware store. You can see how long it took me because the date is stamped on and the time on the bottom right of the video. If you're on TikTok, if you pinch the screen, you will see it at the bottom right of the screen. Anyway, I came back with all these fittings and some pipe dope. Anyway, so let's get to work. And I have that water hose. That's how we're going to let the water inlet work. And then to keep the water from pouring out, I bought this. So once the water is heated, that faucet should work to let us see the steam and everything. So this is actually the same kind of pipe dope I used on the pipes when I made that well over there. The blue kind. So the water inlet goes right there. So let's dope up that and then put the fitting on. So this is how I'm going to use the water hose. And then I'll put a pipe clamp on there. Now I need a pipe wrench. Let me go find it. Okay, so this is where the water hose goes in, right here. Let's tighten that. I could not find a pipe wrench. We're using these vice grips. They'll work just as well. Okay, there's where the water is going to come in. The water hose will go right over this and clamp on with a hose clamp, and I'll tighten it down. There's where the water outlet is. This is the gas inlet, which this coupling is for. I have to go back to the store because I forgot a 1 1/4 inch coupler. Okay, I'm back from the blasted hardware store with the right couplers this time. There has to be the right coupler. I think this one will do it. I think this one will do it. I'm so done with this. It was 1 inch, not 1/4, so I didn't have to go all the way back to the hardware store. What I had worked. Oh, man alive. Okay, everything should be ready. The gas is going to go there, and the water inlet is there, and the water outlet is there if I connected it to a house. But we'll use this for the water outlet. Okay, the propane thing is connected now. This propane tank is empty, so I'll go get a different one. And then now I've got to put a hose clamp on there, and then we're ready to roll. Also, this little pilot light valve thing is stuck, so let me use these pliers and or clines and get it to turn. Let's see if this will work. There it goes. Okay, where is that supposed to be? Let's see. Okay, it appears there's a hole in the water heater right there in the tubing. Let's see if I can solder that and fix it. Okay, so these tubes leak pretty bad. So actually, they're copper. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run up to Home Depot because they still sell this type of copper tubing. It's in the refrigerator aisle. And it's 3/4 outside or inside diameter copper tubing. I'll just wind it up like that and re-stuff this with new copper tube. Take the old one out and fix the old one so it'll be a spare. See, and we'll use the little flared ends like this. I'll need a tool to stick in the end of the 3/8 copper and hammer it and tap it to flare the end so that this will fit on a new one. I'm just going to hacksaw that off on both sides. But before I go, let's test the gas burner and see if it works or if it needs any part. Okay, so we're out of propane as well, so I've got to go exchange that propane tank. So I might as well go to Home Depot on the way. I'll probably change my mind. But anyway, I'm going to get all new copper tubing for the inside of this. Basically replace all these copper tubes in here. I'll bend the copper myself. We'll see if we can't get it working. That probably needs to be replaced too. That's really corroded. But this will work eventually. Okay, so I went to Walmart and I exchanged this propane tank. Let's fire her up and see if she works, or if the burner works. I know the copper tubing has to be replaced. It has a bunch of holes in it. You can tell because I tried it. Let's follow these instructions. It says first gas cock A and pilot valve B must be closed. That is closed. That is gas cock A. This is pilot light B. That's closed. Let's crack on the propane. Let's listen for a hiss. Okay, no hiss. That's a good sign, so no gas is leaking. Let me hold this phone between my knees and open the door. Hold that up. Okay, hang on. Let me try a different angle with this. Okay, now y'all are on the ground, so hopefully y'all can see this okay. So, actually, let me turn this just a tad. Okay, so we're gonna open the pilot light valve and quickly light it so it doesn't build up gas. Okay, pilot light is lit. Y'all can see it in there. Okay, so that's the pilot light. It's only the pilot light, not the main burner. Now we're going to open gas cock A, and it should light the main burner. Okay, it's on. It's about to go whoosh. I'm gonna stand back. What's it doing? Is it on? Hello? I don't know if it's on yet. But do I want it on? Okay, hang on. Let me open this. Okay, the pilot light is on. It probably was already lit, but I'm kind of paranoid. I don't want it to go whoosh on me. Let's see. You doing all right? There it went. There it is. It's on. Okay, and you can see the heat waves possibly, but this thing is putting out some heat, especially right there. It worked better if the lid was on, or the top was on, but it is working. Let's look down in there, and you can see it burning off crud. You can see the smoke coming out of there. And if you look at the reflection, you can see the heat waves. See the steam rising? That's from the reflection of this. So it works. Well, at least the fire part works. Now this just has to be replaced with copper tubing, and it's a good water heater again. It won't leak after that. Let's go ahead and put the top back on and see if that makes a difference in the venting of everything. Okay, let's see if more smoke comes out of there. Let's check the fire again. There it is. My phone just came on and said 10%. Let's open this part. Look at that. See, the coils are still dripping. I don't have the water turned on to them, but they're still dripping. Some of these burners aren't working, but that is because they're probably clogged with dirt and other things. But it is heating up everything because look, it's steaming in there. So that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 2. My grandma didn't want to be in my TikTok. But anyway, stay tuned for part 2. I'm going to do it at some point. I've just got to get the time to go to Home Depot and buy the 3/4 inside diameter copper tubing. Okay, today I'm going to be repairing the coils in this water heater that I got the other day for $150. So it's looking like it's going to rain. Hopefully it holds off. The clouds are moving that way from over there. Let's see if it's dark over there. No, but the clouds are dotted. That's like cotton balls with little spaces in between. That's usually a telltale sign that it'll rain within the next 3 days. If you don't believe me, try it yourself. Also, it's getting cooler. The air is getting cooler, which is usually a sign that the water is about to condense out of the sky, kind of like a distillery. So, I did end up going to the Home Depot yesterday, and I bought this bucket, but I also bought all this stuff. And I bought this pipe cutter. Okay, firstly, I'm going to attempt to repair this by way of solder. You can see there's a hole right there in that pipe. That is just copper tubing. These water heaters, I've been researching them a little bit, and they are very good. One of these water heaters can take the place of about 5 other water heaters. There's also a huge tear in the line somewhere in here. See, there it is, right there. So that section will have to be cut out and spliced, which will be tricky because of where it is. This section has been repaired before. You can see it right there. That's just solder. Okay, let's see what we can do. Okay, let's try cutting it. These doors are spring-loaded. Let's try cutting it right there and splicing in the new copper line, which is the same thickness. This is the same material. This material is just much older. You can see where it used to be shiny right there. Okay, I believe we can get all these coils out if we loosen all these bolts right here, which is going to be tricky, but I think we can do it. Okay, all the bolts and nuts are out. I used 2 pairs of vice grips to do that. See? Okay, let's take this thing apart. Now we have easy access to the coils. We can actually just slide out the coils. There they are. See how easy it is to work on this water heater? This is why I love antiques, because they're simple and they're made to last. Look, and I can clean this out too. I can clean everything now. And this is designed for this, because look, this part doesn't move, see? It was designed to take that off to repair these. So while this is disassembled, I'm taking these off and cleaning off the orifices. I may poke a little pipe cleaner or something through there. Just as I suspected, these are clogged with dirt. So some of these orifices are clogged, you can see. Okay, so I'm gonna cut the pipe right before this break on the first wraparound, and then I'm going to put that on with a coupling. And it is getting awful dark out here. Okay, so, oh, it looks like it's been coupled there before, and I bought those same type of couplers. They still sell them. It's in this bucket. See? Anyway, actually, it's the kind with the crimp in the center. Okay, so we've got to cut that right there, and then we've got to clean that with, where did I put it? Okay, we have to clean where I cut the pipe with this thing. And then, to solder it, we have to put some paste flux on there. This stuff. Then, we have to use this solder, which is lead-free, by the way. And then, that is how you splice this. Okay, let's go ahead and cut this pipe. Okay, now we need to clean the copper. And now it is raining, so let's move this operation to inside this shed. Okay, we're inside. We don't have much room to work with. Okay, we've moved the operation to inside the shed. Let's kind of try to replicate the shape of this coil with this new coil and just cut out the bad parts and splice in the good parts. Okay, so I'm winding the new copper coil and I see this break right here. I'm going to take that out. I'm going to cut it there and try to splice that together. Okay, we've cut the bad part of the pipe out. There it is, see? Now we've got to clean the ends of this with this little brush on both ends. Then we'll put the little connector and some flux, and then we'll solder it. Okay, the pipes are cut. Let's put some flux. And let me turn on the flash. So the flux basically pulls in the solder to the cracks. Okay, that's on there. Let's heat it up with the torch, and then we will solder it. Okay, that's one connection down. We have a little bit more to go. Okay, the coil is all soldered up now. I soldered the broken pipe connections. I cut them and fixed them. Okay, let's put this back into the water heater and put it back together. I would imagine I'm gonna have to take it out again and fix some other stuff, just some tiny other things, but we'll see. Okay, the water heater is going back together nicely. I would imagine it's gonna leak from at least one connection or a spot I missed, but we'll fix it while it's still in there. Okay, the burners are now back in place as well. Let's reassemble this. I would say the soldering went okay. I have to fix that one spot, but that's it. And also this valve doesn't shut all the way off, but it can be messed with until it seals right. Now it won't open. All in all, the coils are pretty good except for that one spot, which I'm about to touch up. See, the one spot's dripping from the top. Okay, I've addressed all the leaks except for that one little drip, and that doesn't shut off all the way. Also, the sprinklers are on for some weird reason at my grandma's. But anyway, I'm gonna fire up the burners and we'll see if we get steam and hot water out of there. Okay, my phone's on one, but let's go ahead and light this thing. Okay, first we'll start with the pilot light, and then I'm gonna light the main burner. Y'all saw me light it yesterday, so I'm not gonna show y'all all the processes. Okay, it's been lit less than a minute, and that water is already hot to the touch. This is an instant hot water heater. Okay, give it just a few more minutes. Okay, I'm gonna turn this water on and put it in a little pan or something. I need to address this leak right there, but that's pretty much the only major leak in here. Let's put it in this pan. This is full of dirty water. Let's see if we can see steam. Okay, it's a little bit later. You see all the steam coming from the little mini water leaks. This thing needs to be patched right there. Also, I didn't do a very good job connecting all this. See, it's leaking. And we have hot water leaking out of this valve that needs to be resealed. But all in all, if you look inside of here, you see there's not very many leaks. There's that one at the top, but that's going down on all those coils. That one drip up there. That's the only real leak inside of there. But anyway, let's turn this on. Actually, let's put this in a pot and see how hot this water is. You can see the steam, and also there's hard water deposits in there, so we'll have to clean that out for a while. But there it is. And let's look at the burners. Here they are. Anyway, and this is supposed to be like an automatic turn-on thing, I think. But when this gets hot, supposedly, or something, no, when you turn on the water, this goes down, and I think it opens up the flame more or something. No, it lets the water in is what it does, because look. No, it lets gas in. I don't know exactly. I'll have to figure that out. Anyway, there it is. Let me post a chart of this water heater.